Hello, YouTube. Um, there's a video online called "It Could Happen to You," and it's the story of Shane Bitney Cohen, and the ordeal, which is a very light word for what he went through after the man that he loved. Um, Basically, Tom and Shane are no longer together anymore. They planned to get married when marriage was legally recognized. They planned a whole life together. They lived in California, and in May of 2011, or actually into 2011, he wrote Shane that 2011 will change their lives forever. He didn't know how prophetic that would be when he fell off of a roof and died. His family, Tom's family, told Shane that they would keep them keep them informed. He never heard from her. And his father, the father of his partner's father, threatened an attack on Shane if he dared show up to the services. Went through their things, asked about their accounts, and after not hearing what happened at all, he decided to check with the coroner to see what happened. How did this happen? Well, he was told to contact the same family that had pushed him out, that tried to erase him from the man he loved, his life, tried to erase him. Apparently it never works. Now that this ordeal has happened to him, and he has been put through unbearable torment, his voice now is louder than those who try to keep that voice silent. It could happen to you. In many of the states in this union, you cannot legally be partnered, legally be married. And in Indiana, they very well will be voting on not recognizing civil unions from any other state because of the fact that there was a stage fell on an individual who was in a same-sex civil union from Illinois. They're neighbors. And I guess the Republicans decided we had to pay that out. We're not going to have to pay that again, so we will pass a constitutional amendment so that we will not deal with civil unions in other states or marriages. There's also another person that I want to talk about. His name is Darrence or something. He died during Prop 8 while it was being litigated endlessly. And there was another man named Clay Green whose partner fell on a patch of ice. The county took their house, and all he has of his partner is a book. He died. His partner died in a nursing home. Had he been female, had either of them been the opposite sex, this would never happen. I think that you need to understand that when you say things that gays are an abomination, or that gays are this or that, that when you single-handedly work to make life for a gay person in America the worst experience they could ever have, and then you rejoice and dance on their graves when they off themselves, you're not worthy to draw another breath. If you can look at Shane's story and just laugh at it, then I hope the same happens to you. I hope that worse happens to you. I have no pity for someone who would take this man's suffering and treat it as if it's not valid, or treat it as just laugh about it. And the craziest thing is, it could happen to you. It could happen to me traveling across the country. Myself and my husband, something could happen. We pull over into a hospital that doesn't recognize our marriage, and there in a state that doesn't recognize our marriage, and it could happen to me. The only thing I can really say is that, Shane, I know that nothing can ever take away this experience from you. I'm sure that many people would, but I pray that you find, if you haven't found peace, or if you, I'm sure you have in telling your story, but the only thing I guess I can really say in all of this is simply that there are people who sympathize and people who really care that this happened to you. I'll see you later. Thank you, Shane, for telling your story. Because no matter what the right-wing bigots will do, they cannot take that away from you. And they can't take away your experience, and they haven't taken away your dignity because you did not let them do that. Have a great day.